Okay, before we start back into this crazy story that we're experiencing, I need to voice a theory into the void just in case it happens to happen at some point. But I've been chewing on everything that we've gone through with the flashback and all that nonsense, right? So, the relationships are kind of a mess between all our characters. Let's be honest, right? Like, oof, I'm still wrapping my head around that. But I am wondering if this isn't similar in a sense to Black Butterfly in that I don't feel like at least our group of four, in which I'm referring to Jed, Lugus, Levi, and Levon. I don't. I'm not convinced that they're the actual children of the characters in here. And what I mean by that is I think this world was created. I mean that's basically what we were taught, what we were told, right, in that flashback. Is that Hugh said this psychedelica is made up of Ashen Hawks and Olgar's wishes that combined, and they made this world. And, it's been going since then for 17 years or so. I'm wondering if our group of, let's say, yeah, our group of four, Jed, Levon, Levi, Lugus, are actually from modern times, found this tower that's probably from hundreds of years ago, and, found the Kaleido-via that fell, that Olgar left behind, because we saw a flashback where four kids were interacting with it, and mom, Arya, is saying to them, if they if they keep interacting with this, they're going to be sucked in. She managed to stop them that one time, but maybe not completely. Like maybe part of their souls have come here and filled in these characters. So, they're not actually related in reality, but their souls like merged. Like Jed, whoever Jed was in reality is now Jed, and whoever Levi was in reality is taken over like the Levi character, and they're just playing the parts of these stories, and that's why it's eventually going to break free because there's this outside element now that's gonna break open the cracks in this psychedelica world. I don't know. That's probably not at all what's happening, and I probably could have worded it better. But hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying. Is I don't think Jed is Jed. I think Jed exists as another person in modern times, but her soul, or at least part of her soul, is stuck here in psychedelica and has become Aer and Olgar's daughter. But she's not actually their daughter. She's just that's the character her soul has taken on in the story. I hope that makes some kind of sense. But I'm like, okay, I gotta voice this out into the void in case it ends up being a thing. So there you go. I'm on the record now. And then at the end, when it's like everyone, you were all just dead, and now you get to move on to the next world, I'll be like, okay, cool story. I liked my story better. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled nonsense. My sleep was interrupted numerous times throughout the night. After a while, I noticed a faint light coming through the dirty window. How much time had passed since I was placed in here? Footsteps. Someone was coming closer. Not Ashen Hawk. I had expected Lugus to come, but the ones who appeared were some men I didn't recognize. Oh, come on, you know these guys. We've seen them so many times. You are going to be transferred to a jail cell. Don't resist. They didn't need to tell me. I didn't have any intention to. I wasn't conceited enough to think I could beat them unarmed. If I was going to run away, I would have done so last night. Ow. The men who came up to the attic bound my hands behind my back and forced me to stand up. Ow. They prodded me to walk forward as they took me outside the manor. Sounds like they punched me in the head. The jail cell isn't inside the manor?
Shut up and walk.
They kept prodding me, so I continued on. We walked out to the front. There was so much bloodshed last night, but it was now covered in the snow. It was like everything was nothing but a dream. Of course, that wasn't true. My capture was proof of that. After walking a while, we approached the town square. It made me realize that what happened yesterday was indeed fact. Are you executing me? There were many people there. I don't like the looks of this. No. Their eyes looked at mine. Something about them seemed to be struck with fear.
It's the witch.
Someone mumbled that while everyone else was silent. The mumble turned into murmurs as they continued to spread.
The legendary witch. It's because of her that the town is doomed.
She's a woman. She tricked us all along. That eye turns red, right? That's so creepy. The murmurs were all hurtful. They were people with whom I had interacted normally until now. Was this how things would be now that I'm a witch? Were the hearts of people so fleeting that they could be influenced this easily? When I thought of that, it made me sad. The people of this town must have been that afraid of the witch. And it was true that I had deceived them all this time.
You witch! It's the witch's fault.
The witch's fault!
She's not a witch!
Out of the calls of hatred, someone shouted out to deny them. A loud and strong voice. Levi. Levi?
Jad! You're all right.
How did you guys get out? It was definitely Levi, and Levon was next to him. I was glad neither of them were captured. They tried to come toward me, but were stopped by everyone around them.
Let go of me! She's not a witch! I know her better than anyone! She fought with us for the sake of this town! Have you no shame? You betrayed her and now you insult her like this!
I was relieved to see that they're safe. I was also touched that they were defending me. They were right. I wasn't a witch. I didn't have the power to curse this town. Hear me! I shouted loudly for everyone to hear. The ropes binding me were pulled violently, but that didn't stop me. It's true that I have deceived you of my gender. I also hid my red eye. But I am no witch. I have no power to bring misfortune to this town. Killing me won't change a thing in this town.
She's lying.
Yeah, because, you know, the last time you killed the witch, it worked so well for you guys.
She's a liar. She only says that because she doesn't want to die.
I am not lying. Madam Francisca died because of you. I was at a loss of words. Francisca's death was my fault? That's not true. It wasn't, but... Yeah, we'll just pretend like the people that actually put her to death are not responsible. Sure.
Mother's death has nothing to do with her! You should have been the one to die. It's your fault that the lady had to die. Stop it! All of you!
After Madam Francisca died, it's your fault that the battle from yesterday was started.
It's all your fault, isn't it?
No. No. I was only involved in the midst of it. I wasn't the cause. Right when I thought of explaining it, I realized something. Countless eyes of the townspeople were looking at me. Fear, anger, hatred. It wasn't the sort of look a wolf would give to a hawk or a hawk would give to a wolf. It was the sort of look that a human would give to a witch. I wasn't a witch, but to them I was. The power to curse and my own will had nothing to do with it. The only thing that mattered to them was my red eye. That has become an indisputable fact. This eye was what made me a witch. Ow! Something hit my foot. It's a stone. Someone must have thrown it. After a short pause, more stones started to fly. One after another, they were aimed at me.
Stop it! What the hell are you all thinking? Stop it!
The rain of stones didn't stop, despite their desperate cries. Ugh! One hit my head. I could tell I was bleeding at the forehead. We were all joined together until yesterday to fight Olgar as the common enemy. And today, that enemy had been shifted to me.
Let's go.
He pulled at the rope. I stood there dumbfounded and was practically dragged away. All the while, stones were being thrown at me.
Chad! I'll save you!
Levi! I love you, Levi! Even though you're a crazy serial killer, I still love you. I thought I heard Levi still shouting, but my ears could hardly hear anything. Levi gets bonus cookies for trying harder than Levon. Well, isn't this just a cozy little cell? You know what this cell reminds me of? This is going to be like a blast from the past. I don't know if any of you were around when I was playing the Royal Trap, but this reminds me of the cell in the Royal Trap. How long did I walk? How much time had passed? By the time I realized it, I was alone in a jail cell. My right eye felt hot. The witch's eye was twitching in pain. As long as I had this eye, I was a witch to the townspeople. I didn't have the power to curse them or bring them misfortune. The only power I was afforded was to peek inside their minds. What was a witch, anyway? Was this how my mother felt, too? After the townspeople found out, she was killed for it. If only I didn't have this eye. But it was too late for that anyway. But if I didn't have this eye... I subconsciously reached for my right eye and stuck my fingernails into my eye socket. Ow! If I pushed just a little harder, I could gouge my own eye out. Don't do that, girl. Ashen Hawk, I hope that was you swatting her hand away. Ugh. Someone grabbed my hand and pulled it away from my face.
Don't. That would be terrible.
It was Hugh. Okay, it was gonna be one of those two. Hugh. So you can just come and go as well, eh? Interesting.
There's no meaning in doing that.
I knew that too. But what was he doing here? I stopped myself from asking. He would just change the subject anyway. It wasn't the first time this man appeared out of nowhere. Hugh's hand touched my forehead. It hurt. It was where someone threw a stone earlier.
They got you good.
It's nothing.
Even after receiving this treatment, do you still want to save this town? Do you really want to save the people who would do this to you?
I couldn't answer him. If I opened my mouth, dark emotions would flow out. All I could do was remain silent.
This world was created from sadness. Those people do these things because they don't want to experience sadness themselves. I won't reprimand that kind of weakness, but it's a damning situation for you to be in. Once the Kaleido-via opens the path, they will be released from sadness. However, that will be in exchange for this world. We will all be imprisoned by this sadness until that is done. We cannot walk under sun as we are. We will always direct our hatred towards someone. Even if you die, someone else will just take your place. You can continue this world, or to trade everything to sever this vicious cycle of despair.
He was telling me to choose. Hugh had always been fixated on the concept of choice.
I'm more interested in the story rather than the ending. I want to know what choices you will make, and the internal strife you have while trying to make it. You should think long and hard until the day you must make your decision, Red-Eyed Witch. No. As always, I suppose it's more accurate to call you a red-eyed girl. This is all I can help you with. The rest is up to you. Let us now begin our journey to learn the truth. But the choice after that is all up to you.
Was he telling me to make a choice? I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I blurted out what was on my mind. I was in no state to make that choice right now.
Perhaps you will not be able to come to a decision.
Huh? Was I wrong? Then what choice did Hugh want me to make?
The Kaleido-via is not complete yet. You haven't found all of the magical stones. Isn't that right?
Oh, that's right. How could I have forgotten that? I couldn't even make the choice right now. Does that imply that at some point we're going to do a route or something where we have all the stones by this point, and that's when we get, like, the true ending?
Do you now know where that stone is?
I shook my head. I hadn't even searched for it. How would I know?
I see. You still have forgotten. But your own eyes remember. There's no way you would forget.
My own eyes? Hugh's hand touched my forehead again. My right eye grew hotter.
Come. Try to remember.
A different scene flashed before my eyes. It was a long-forgotten memory from my childhood. Here we go! Look at the babies! We finally get to see them in all their clear glory. Interesting, interesting. I like it, I like it. These guys are so cute. Look at them all. Like their cute little jackets and everything. Adorable.
It's so beautiful here. What is this place?
What's this ornament? What's it doing here?
Hey, you sure it's okay to touch it?
Whoa! It's a treasure! Look at it glitter!
The outer part can be opened, I think. Hey, maybe something fits inside these 4 holes.
And what's that? Maybe jewels?
10 years ago, you found the Kaleido-via Olgar dropped from the top of the tower.
10 years ago. Okay, so I would have been 6 or so. Okay. Got it, got it, got it.
And by coincidence, the 4 of you with magical stones were there together.
Jewels. I get it. This ornament is...
What's the matter?
It kind of looks like the jewel I have.
Is that from the necklace? Is that what you're holding? Yeah, the snowdrop pendant. Yeah. Oh, they all have their jewels, I just realized. Duh. Man, I'm so observant. Lucas has his ring from Ashen Hawk. Levi has another ring. Levon has another ring. And she's got the snowdrop pendant. Okay. Cool.
See? Look at this. It's the snowdrop pendant Francisca gave me.
Oh, I have that too. Levi, you too.
Yeah! You mean this ring, right?
I have one too. Isn't this it?
We all have one.
Yeah! Now we got all 4! What do they call this? Destiny! Yeah, destiny!
It's just a coincidence.
But it really looks like... Huh?
What?
The ornament is... shining?
The Kaleido-via reacted to the magical stones and activated its original function. A flood of light pushed the children back and created a chain to connect the world of eternity and reality. However...
Here.
Huh?
No. Don't come here.
You were dropped off into this part by the power of the Kaleido-via. By letting go of the magical stones, the Kaleido-via stopped and the world was completely closed off. But at that moment...
That's suspicious. Starts to snow. I'm suspicious.
Chad, what's the matter? Oh no! He's bleeding!
It hurts. It hurts so much. Something went in my eye.
I was wondering if that's what got injured. I'm like, I wondered if that's how your eye turned red.
The pendant's crushed. Did this get inside?
Let me see. Whoa, it's all red. We have to get you back.
It hurts. It hurts.
Just hold it in! Boys, don't cry! We'll get you some help.
So the pendant was crushed? Did a piece of it go into my... My eye is not now one of the jewels, is it? Hugh, don't you look at me like that. I returned to where I was. I was in the jail cell alone with Hugh. My right eye hurt even more so than before. It felt like there was a foreign object inside of my eye. Great. So what's the plan? The magical stone is in my eye?
That's right. That is why your eye reacts to the other stones.
Okay, well, so I'm not a witch. I just have a jewel in my eyeball. And that's why I glow. Oh, goodness graciousness. Well, that convinces me more than ever that I'm not Arya's daughter. I didn't inherit her red eyes. My eye's just red because it's got a piece of the stone in it. It reacted to Lavon's and Levi's magical stones. It wasn't the power of clairvoyance.
Isn't it pretty? It's a snowdrop pendant. You should hold on to
it. Isn't it beautiful?
The pendant from Francisca must have been the same snowdrop pendant my mother left behind. It was crushed and went into my eye. But if the last magical stone was in my eye, how do I use it?
What do you mean?
How do I use it for the Kaleido-via?
Oh, about that.
Please, don't pull my eye out, I swear. Hugh's hand on my forehead slowly descended. He stopped right above my chest, right above my racing heart. Oh, okay. Well, good. Where have I heard this line before? You just need to die. It's in another game, but I can't think of it right now.
You just need to die.
Huh? Me? Die?
The magical stone is closely knit with your soul. Naturally, your soul is bound to your body. In order to release your soul from your body,
I just needed to die. I have to die. But then... But the Kaleido-via...
Yes. If you die, you can't use it. It's your choice, but that wish will have to be entrusted to someone else.
Who do I give that to? I don't know if I trust anybody enough with that, man. If I wish to release this town, I must die.
Let me note that your soul won't return to the world after it is released.
What do you mean?
Souls that have died in this world cannot return to their rightful places.
Rightful places.
Perhaps the soul simply vanishes. Perhaps it wanders elsewhere. Perhaps it is imprisoned for eternity in the darkness we call the Abyss.
The Abyss is back, everybody! Hold on. I felt a chill down my spine. I couldn't imagine what would happen after I died, let alone what would happen to my soul. My primal instincts told me to fear it. Was that what happened to Francisca's soul? And the people murdered by Levi? And the people who died in the battle yesterday? Unless this town is released, those souls will continue to increase?
If you wish for the will to continue, then that is what will happen. But that's not a bad thing. You and the people of this town are able to obtain the happiness you can see with your own eyes. It may only be a momentary bliss.
Would my happiness be there too? The entire town despised me as a witch. Should I choose such a fleeting moment of happiness among those people? But did I have the right to take away that happiness from them?
Gathered your thoughts?
I couldn't gather them that quickly. The answer still eluded me, and this man asked that knowingly.
This might not be fair, but there is one particular choice you can make.
What's that? I asked him, completely forgetting to doubt him. I was likely grasping at straws, but Hugh's voice was unusually serious.
Stop thinking. Don't think of anything, and run away from here.
From here? He probably didn't mean from the jail cell, but from the town?
I would be able to help you do that.
You can help me leave, but not yourself? Why wouldn't you just leave? Huh? Why are you an Ashen Hack? You an Ashen Hack? Why are you and Ashen Hawk so anxious to get Jed out of this town? Huh? What's up with that?
What will you do? What do you want to do?
I could run away from the situation, again. Or I could die as a means of salvation. If so, I... Well, obviously I'm going to die. Even though I'm already dead, supposedly. So, yeah. Let's go kill ourselves and figure out who's going to use the Kaleido-via. Go. I won't run away. I don't want to run away.
I knew you'd say that.
Hugh instantly accepted my rejection of his answer. It was as if he knew it from the beginning.
If you want to remain in this world and think, I do have one suggestion.
What's that?
It may sound trite, but talk to the people.
Huh?
Talk to whom you wish to meet, and then come to your own conclusion.
I did agree with what Hugh was saying. I wanted to meet people too. Oh, but there's one small problem with this plan. I'm stuck in a jail cell and everyone wants to stone me when they see me. There were people I could rely on. The people who have been kind to me. Okay, so we're gonna ignore all the randos then, please. Just our friends, just our supporters. But I was imprisoned. There was no way I could escape.
Oh, don't worry about that. I can take your place.
Huh? What? Huh? With a surprising sound, Hugh vanished into a mist, and I saw myself there. You are the lord of this Psychedelica world. Ah, you can change your face! Confirmation. Yep. He's our Hokage. Let's go.
How is it? I bet you can't tell which one of us is real.
Is that really you, Hugh?
Changing shape is easy to do, especially since I've traveled across many fantasy worlds.
He said that with my face. But his voice and teasing smile were Hugh's without a doubt. Huh? Your hand? The clematis birthmark still remained on his hand. So there's some things that just never change, no matter how much you change your face. Interesting. Is that why Hokage, kept his 2 moles and things?
I can't remove this. It's a sort of proof that I am myself. Now then, it's strange for 2 people with the same face to be in the same place. I prepared this for times like these.
He put his hand behind his back to look for something. He took out the wig and dress from when I was in disguise. Sure. Where were you keeping that? Do I want to know?
I thought you might need it, so I kept it.
He practically forced it onto me, so I accepted it. It was true that I couldn't walk around town dressed as a man. I would have to accept Hugh's goodwill here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now move along. I'll be waiting for you to return.
Am I just gonna, shimmy out the window there, or how do I get out of here?